The Prime Minister lost a crunch vote in the Commons earlier this week after Tory rebels backed an amendment to allow Parliament to vote down a final Brexit deal. But leaders across the continent have confirmed they will pay no heed to the UK Parliament, and are placing the bets on the success of the Prime Minister. Luxembourg's PM Xavier Bettel made it clear that it came down to the Prime Minister, and not rebellious MPs, to make the final call. He said to think Theresa May will negotiate something, we will negotiate something, and then again she will go back to Westminster is not good for the position of the negotiations. Luxembourg's PM Xavier Bettel made it clear striking a deal came down to the Prime Minister. Westminster should trust that Theresa May will do the best for the UK. An aide to French President Emmanuel Macron went on to throw the Elyssée's weight behind Mrs May. He added, "Mrs May is our main negotiating partner. It's obvious that we will not renegotiate new amendments after striking the deal." Thursday, December 14, 2017, Theresa May's Tory Brexit rebels Mark Rutte described the Prime Minister as having formidable stature, and the Netherlands top man Mark Rutte described the Prime Minister as having formidable stature. He claimed the divorce deal agreement showed you should not underestimate her when it came to brokering a deal for Britain. However, despite supporting the Prime Minister, Mr. Rutte claimed he would still be more than happy for the UK to change its mind on the decision to leave the bloc. Speaking from the EU summit in Brussels, Mr. Rutte said he hated Brexit and hoped the UK would change their minds. Prime Minister lost a crunch vote in the Commons earlier this week asked if Article 50 could be revoked. He said, "That's still possible. I assented. I am not expecting that it will happen, and as you know I hate Brexit, so I hope this will happen, but it is not the impression the British government gives at the moment. But if they would come back on this awful decision of the majority in Britain to leave the European Union, I would be all too happy. As far as I know, legally we could rescind the whole process." EU leaders finally agreed to let the UK move on to phase 2 of talks. Speaking at the EU summit in Brussels, he went on to tell Theresa May to make up her mind on what she wants from the EU, claiming it would be strange to assume Europe would tell the PM what they want from the mutual arrangement. Asked if the UK could expect an opening deal from Brussels to clarify the bloc's position, he said that would be very strange. "We have not asked the UK to leave the European Union, so I think the Brits now have to decide what they want. Do they want to have access to the customs union and the single market, and of course that entails certain obligations, or do they only want the internal market, only the customs union, as that would entail other obligations? Do they want a bespoke model, or do they want to base the relationship on the Norwegian, the Swiss, or whatever model, or do they want a free trade agreement like with Canada and Korea? Do they want a WTO arrangement? But this is up to the Brits."